The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink Community TV, its sponsors, or partners.
Julie Julie. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Julie Pellissier Lush and I am the past Poet Laureate of Prince Edward Island. I finished my term in February this year and I would love to welcome you to the Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. Eastlink Community TV is devoted to celebrating the rich history of the First Nations people on Epekwitk. In the coming weeks and months on this program, we will be celebrating our culture and speaking to people who are making a difference in our communities. Now I will let my co-host introduce himself.
Gwe, Jalasi, Ninda Luisi, Gipumo Kiwanu, Walalio. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're very thankful to have each and every one of you be a part of our audience today on this very amazing show and our amazing guests that we have today. And we're always so thankful and so honored to have the most beautiful, the most incredible human being, Tammy Sock here.
Aww. And now to give her a little bit of an introduction before we get started. Now, Tammy lives in Cornwall, Prince Edward Island, and she is a band member of Epekwitk First Nations. She is a beader, one of the co-owners of Made in Mi'kma'ki, which is on Facebook, where you can look and see all the beautiful designs. And she's had some pretty major announcements that have come up in the last little bit. So we knew that it was time to bring Tammy in and talk to her about her craft work, her artisan work, and all the amazing things that I know are going to be coming her way. So welcome, Tammy. So good to see you, my friend.
Oh, it's good to be back.
It's so good. Last time we had you was with the amazing Sherry Bernard, and we were specifically a little bit more talking about Mi'kmaq paranormal, which is amazing in itself, right? But today I really wanted to focus in on your beautiful artisan work and the things that you have accomplished, especially even just since the last time we had a chance to talk. So I figure the best way to start is way at the beginning. When did you first start engaging in your culture and learning how to create these beautiful pieces of artwork that you create?
I was really young, actually, probably around the age of 14, I think, when I started, taking it a little more serious than just standing there and watching the adults do it kind of thing. I really, my aunt, my mom's youngest sister, Lorraine Levi, she said, instead of just, watching, why don't you pick up a needle and I'll show you how to do some easy bead work. So I did. And I loved it since. So, yeah, I've been beadworking probably 75% of my life. I mean, leather work, beadwork, everything.
And there was a phase, I don't think you're out of it yet, which is good because my wall is full of beautiful dream catchers that you have created. When did you start making dream catchers?
Same time, actually, the exact same time. She taught me, my aunt taught me how to do dream catchers. Been making them since. No, I haven't stopped. I actually just got an order in for 24 dream catchers, and Yeah, no, dream catchers will never stop. It's actually my favorite. I prefer dream catchers over beading.
Wow, it's amazing. And she does tremendous work. Everyone make sure to go check out her Facebook page and connect with her and her amazing little company. Now, we've talked about dream catchers a little bit and a little bit of beading. What's your artisan array? What do you like to create?
I like being original. I like being able to picture something in my head, draw on the design, and actually beating it out. And I haven't tried that. I always thought that would be a really, really hard thing to do. But actually, my son does that a lot. He'll see something in his head, he'll draw it and beat it, and it's gone within minutes of him being done. So I thought if he could do it, surely I could do it. Because usually I'm always, following a design that's already existing, and I want to be original. I want to do my own work and be able to take credit for my own work. So that's where the idea came from, was just following my son and what he was doing. So he is just as much into beading as I am. But his only rule is he likes to do his own work. He doesn't like to, say, look on Pinterest or, Etsy and copy someone's work. He likes doing his own work. So that's what I'm trying to head into. But when I get orders, it's really for specific things.
So when you're thinking of your creative process, you like to sort of envision them in your mind and then maybe map it out. I've seen different sort of artists, especially in terms of beadwork, where they get graph paper and they can dot out each of the patterns that they're thinking in their mind. But I think from the times that I've watched you bead, it just flows right from your heart, like in your imagination. It doesn't seem to be this huge task of figuring everything out. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, that's exactly how I do it. But I love doing it. So, I always try to make sure I'm in that positive frame of mind. Like my mom always taught me that if you're feeling even just a little bit negative, just put the work down, go smudge or go do something else until you're feeling good about your work, then come back to it. So I always try to make sure that I'm in that, extremely positive state of mind to, you know, I don't want to put negativity into my work, even though when I'm done, I'll still smudge my work, but I won't take any chances. I like to, put happiness in my work. So that
Um,
is first and foremost important.
it is. And your work turns out so beautiful. But right now, I think we are going to take a short break here. But
Sounds
be
good.
sure to keep watching Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. We will be right back. Welcome back to Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. I am Julie Pellissier Lush and my wonderful co-host Richard Lush, and we are here interviewing the amazing Tammy Sock, who is an artisan with many, many, many talents, and we are having an amazing time learning a little bit more from her with her skill and her crafts and her talents.
Hi.
Now, we've kind of talked about some of the art and the process of how you kind of go about creating it and the original content, which is all amazing. What do you see for the future of your little amazing company and your art?
I'm always definitely looking at expanding. The demand is there for sure. Um, we're always getting orders. I mean, we have a huge waiting list. Um, so yeah, expanding and bringing in artists to, share their work or take on orders. That's always a plus, for sure. Um, my daughter's moving home in a couple of days, and she actually expressed interest in picking up the work, the craft, and trying her hand at it. So I'm excited to train her on how we do it, and kind of bring her up to speed. And it's great, like, I use it as a teaching tool for sure. And I'm willing to teach anyone. We offer that right on our page. Classes, or anyone who wants to learn should learn, how to do this amazing, artisan work.
So maybe not so little organization. It's going to be growing. I see a lot of things coming in the future with more artisans taking part. So it's more of a collaboration. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got asked by the city of Charlottetown to do some beadwork for the ECMA Awards 2024.
That is amazing. And I'm sure that will hit the news. But I think the next thing that I was thinking of was you were just recently in the news for some beautiful beadwork that was put in place at our Prince Edward Island airport. And
Yeah.
I got to finally see it firsthand. And oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. It was, that was definitely challenging because they were very, very specific on what they wanted. And the size, the colors, how many beads did you use? They wanted every ounce of information of what we did during the process. So, we had to be careful with, okay, how many vials did we use? How many beads are in a vial? Okay, you got to tear back some because that's more than 12 inches, or, it was so specific. It was the most specific work I think, made on Mi'kmaq he's ever done. My son took control on that project, and Morgan and I had helped along the way. And I couldn't envision, even though they were telling me what it was for, what they planned on doing, I couldn't picture it. So when we went to the airport and actually saw the finished product, it was very flattering. It really was. To stand there and watch your son's work, and knowing you're part of that too, it was a very proud moment. Like, I know how close you and Richie are, and you get those proud moments. Like, I was right there. I was right there too. So, it and I don't know how long it's going to be there, but I'm going to treasure every moment for sure. We also did work for Beaconsfield. The same kind of thing. They were very specific on, the coloring. We had decided to replicate the house in beadwork. So that's what we did. Each piece took about 2.5 months. And that was constant beading.
Those sound like huge but amazing pieces. I'm glad I got to see the airport one. I haven't seen the one in Beaconsfield yet.
Yeah, the airport actually had gotten the idea of what they wanted to do through Beaconsfield work. So our work is catching on, and it's spreading. It's spreading us thin too, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. I wish I could just snap my fingers and give everyone what they need, but it does take time. It does, take a lot of practice to hit specifics.
Now, I'm sure either of those maybe answer this question right now, but as we're kind of dwindling down our last little segment here for this part, what is your all-time favorite creation, and maybe why? What inspired you to create it?
There's a medallion I made for my son. It was my first serious piece of work, and there's a hand like this, just shows like that little hand. And I took his daughter's hand and I traced it and I blew it up, and it was able to make the handprint, like for children, into a black background medallion. So her hand is red, and I was able to make it a more sentimental piece by doing that for Cody, because he was a first time dad. Excuse me. He was a first time dad, and I really wanted to celebrate that with him and create him a piece that was just, when he looks at it, he knows why I made it. He knows whose little hand is covering his heart, and he will. I think he'll rarely wear it because he's afraid to damage it, but it's there. It's special. It's between, him being a dad and me being a juju. So it was amazing.
That is amazing. But now we have to take one more short break here. But be sure to keep watching Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. Welcome back to Voices of Epekwitk on Eastlink Community TV. I am Julie Pellissier Lush and my wonderful co-host Richard Lush, and we're here having an amazing chat with Tammy Sock, who is an artisan, entrepreneur, as well as having talents that I don't think very many of our community members are aware of. Because within the next few weeks, there's going to be a book that is coming out, and its title is Ghost Stories of Epekwitk, and the writers are Sherry Bernard, Tammy Sock, and myself. So I thought this would be a great opportunity just to have a talk with one of the authors before the actual launch of this amazing book. Now, this book is going to be able to showcase our stories from our people and stories about our people from non-Indigenous people. But this book, in fact, was sort of the heart project from, I think, Mi'kmaq Paranormal.
Yeah,
it was. But I wanted you, if you wanted to talk just a tiny bit, You've read the draft version, you've seen the template of the cover. So how are you feeling about this book?
It's really surreal, Julie. I've always been in the background being your biggest cheerleader. I know this is, your work. You're an author, you were a poet laureate. Those are heavy shoes to fill as a best friend to someone. But I mean, the immense pride that Sherry and I carry for our best friend is out of this world. And when we were presented with the opportunity to write with our best friend, wow, those creative juices just, you couldn't get it down quick enough, or you couldn't meet with enough people to retell scary stories or scary experiences or paranormal experiences. So being able to do that with your two best friends is the most amazing feeling in the world. It gets my foot in the door to being an author and, start presenting my own work. I'm following in Julie's shoes.
You never know. Pretty soon we might have another talk show too. That would be awesome. And I'd love to be your guest, my friend. Definitely.
I absolutely would love that. Oh, absolutely would love it. Hoping, the book, like you said, will be out in a few weeks, actually. I think, yeah. I can't wait to just broadcast it, actually show people that, more than just a beard, this is something else that I can add to my resume. And it's so exciting.
Yeah, that's so amazing and that's so exciting. And I think we're all carving our own paths, and your beautiful path has led you to who you are today, with the help and support of all your family and friends, including your best friends, of course, too. It's never a competition. When one of us rise, we all rise together, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what I believe in. But I'm a little more interested in this ghost book because this is the first I've heard of it. I know Mom was chatting about it. So maybe let's have a little sneak peek. What's one of your favorite ghost stories that was perhaps in the book, or maybe just not in this book, maybe the new book coming out?
I think we told the stories of and it's this time of year, so yeah, I'll bring it up. We told the stories of the ghost ship. So there is a known ghost ship that appears to be on fire, people screaming, and there's actually eyewitnesses. Personally, not me. I'm looking, searching for this, thing to happen to me, but unfortunately it hasn't. But it has happened to my mom twice on Lennox Island, as a matter of fact. So right off I don't know if you knew where Auntie Mitchell's house was. Right on the water there. It was right off of that area that they had saw the burning ship, to the point where they started rowing their dinghy out to save these people that they saw jumping from the ship. So they're rowing with all their heart, and the closer they're getting, the further away the ship was and the more foggier it was getting. So all of a sudden, the fog just swallows up the ship. And I've heard that story since I was just a very little girl. All these stories that people say you shouldn't tell the kids, or I agree in some aspects, but when you're Indigenous, this is just how you grow up. It's a normal thing for us. So to be able to retell these amazing stories that you learn from oral history, it's amazing. I love it. We were able to retell these stories into a book. So this is incredible for us.
And it would be preserved for a very long time, from generation to generation, in libraries and schools and bookstores all over, which is exciting because it'll get passed down, and it'll save those stories, right?
It helped me to understand why you take so many pictures, to be honest. She's always clipping pictures of everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Julie's going to get a picture with you, and that's that. And I used to just want to kick her butt and just stop taking pictures, But you understand now through oral history why Julie is recording everything that she can. This is something that she could pass down to Richard and his children, Britt and her children, that they're able to share with their communities. So yeah, I understand it.
This has been so much fun, my friend, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and talk to Richard and I, and just to showcase how much of an amazing role model you are for the community, for our generations that are coming up. You show them our traditional ways of preserving our culture through your artisan work, and now preserving our ghost stories through publishing a book. I think it's so very exciting, and I'm very, very proud of you.
Our first book in a very long series, I hope.
I hope so, because the ghost stories never end, do they?
No, we don't. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Easiest interview ever, sitting with my family. Love it. Thank you.
Oh. Now, thank you so much for being a part of our amazing show, Voices of Epekwitk with Eastlink Community TV. Be sure to tune in again for the next episode of our Community Change Makers. And Richard loves to do this part, so I will let Richard do the last part.
So first off, make sure you check out Tammy's amazing page and support our local artisans because we love her so much and she's family to us. Namigma, we like to say Namoltes, meaning until we meet again. Olalio, everybody. Thank you all.
Gojo wakana, 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 gojo. Goju wakana, 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 goju.